Over here to Fred, our beloved Fred.
Well, I'm having a mix of different things coming up here right now.
Okay.
And I think some of it must have gotten triggered. Just to go into the past just briefly, I went for a day hike with Sherry yesterday, and when we took a break, we were just talking, and she started asking me questions about, like past lives or the spiritual realm, or, and I said, well, Leonard's talked about that stuff a lot, and I've asked him a lot of questions about these things over the years. And then I said to her, I'm pretty comfortable at this stage, anyhow, really not knowing, the answer to those questions. And then sort of like what was coming up for me right now is how much I feel like, I don't really know anything, hardly,
Okay.
But in the sense of, I don't know what happens really when someone dies or when I die. If I look at the stars at night in infinite space, I don't, it's like I can't really wrap my mind around that. But
why would you want to wrap your mind
I don't want to. That's the whole point. So the whole question for you simply is, all I know is I'm here. I'm having a pretty enjoyable experience in this body. Is there anything else I need to know? Or is there really anything to know? I mean, what the hell do you know? I mean, I don't think I know anything.
Well, let me tell you a little secret, Fred. One who knows dwells in a state of not knowing. And the most legitimate thing you can say is, I know nothing. But you have to relax with that, relax deeply, and at the same time become more and more present. The one thing you can know that is completely beyond the mind is this moment as it is. You're just here, present with what is here, free of your projections. I know this, just this moment. I don't know it with my mind. In a way, that's all we can know. Can I know who I am? The answer is no, I can't. Because the more present I become, the more I open into oneness. And the eternal dilemma of oneness is that one cannot know itself. There has to be a division into two, the knower and the known, a movement into duality, which means you've left presence, you've left the awakened state. Now you're being defined by the past, or defined by the future, or your concepts and beliefs and ideas, which is how it is for most people. So it's a really good state to be in, to not know, because there's nothing you need to know other than, am I present or am I in my mind? But also be open to the possibility, Fred, that when Sherry asks you a question like that, answer. You might be surprised by what comes out of your mouth, and it has nothing to do with Leonard. Because there is an infinite source of knowing at the center of your being. Infinite source. God is at the center of your being. All knowing is at the center of your being. But for the most part, you don't know what you know. It only arises as it's necessary or as it's appropriate. So if you ask me a question, knowing arises. I'm not using my mind. I don't know what I'm saying. I don't have an agenda. But this is what arises. But that is also possible for you, and it's important you recognize that. God exists at the very center of your being. Infinite knowing, infinite power, infinite truth, infinite love. That's the truth of who you are, and you'll discover that as you become more and more present. And you have to trust that. You have to trust presence. And one of the healthiest things you can say is, I don't know anything. But then be present. Except this. I know this. Just this. Or, this. This is it. What else is there? What other moment can you live in other than this moment? Just this. This you know. But if I asked you, what is this? You'd have to say, I don't know. Who are you? I don't know. I don't know who I am. I just am. I don't know where I am. I'm just here. Present with what is here. It's pretty simple. So next time, where's Sherry?
She couldn't come tonight. She had to work.
Well, you go home and you tell her to ask those questions again, and you'll answer them perfectly. And forget about Leonard. Anything I share with you or with anyone, I can't tell you anything you don't already know. It's impossible. The truth doesn't belong to me. It's available to all of us, but only as we become more and more present, more and more relaxed into the present moment. But then you have to be careful, because the ego is just waiting on the sidelines, waiting to pounce on that knowing and convert it to knowledge, and then walk around, I know everything. I'm enlightened. I'm the most enlightened of them all. Because the ego can't wait to steal the knowing that arises out of presence. So, you know, you have to be watchful of that, and very lovingly, you don't let the ego get away with it. You say to the ego, yes, yes, darling, you are the most enlightened of them all, and you know it all. I'm very proud of you, ego. I love you. You're the best of them all. You're the best ego on the planet. The most enlightened ego on the planet. You play with that. But it's important that you recognize that distinction between knowing that arises in the moment and knowledge that is converted, that knowing that's converted into knowledge. Okay, so you and I together, Fred, we know nothing. I know nothing. Who said that? I know nothing. I'm trying to think of where that comes from. Where? Who? What? Oh, that's what it is. Exactly. That's from Faulty Towers. I know nothing. I know nothing. I used to love hearing that. Okay. Thank you, Fred.
Thank you.
You know, the other thing that, or a question that could arise is, what if there were no problems? What if there are just no problems? What if everything that occurs in your life is never anything other than an opportunity for awakening, an opportunity for more consciousness, an opportunity for healing and release, an opportunity for deepening into presence? Because that's the truth. What we call problems are actually nothing but opportunities, and I'm willing to say there are no exceptions.